And now, something unexpected. Whether they're whispering in the shadows about you or saying it straight to your face. Here on Coffee with Dubs, we just give it as it is, so grab a cup. Morning. Welcome back. Lately I've been thinking a lot about expectations, but not the way people usually talk about them. Most of the time we talk about expectations other people place on us, our families, our jobs, society. What I realized is that expectations weighing on me mostly were never spoken out loud. They were the ones I quietly created for myself, believing the world would naturally see things I did the way I did them. As my artwork's grown beyond the studio, my role has changed in ways I never expected. A few years ago, I was designing merch, drawing the comic books, hoping someone might connect with Bolt Voltage. Now, I'm painting murals, working with community organizations, writing children's books, and trying to encourage creativity wherever I can. I didn't realize that the more visible I become, the less control I have over the story people create about me. That was a strange realization because my intention never changed. I've always wanted to leave the world a little more creative than I found it. Whether it's through a mural, a comic, or spending an afternoon encouraging a young artist to keep drawing, the mission has always remained the same. The canvas got bigger, but the heart behind the art never really changed. What did change was my expectation. Somewhere along the way, I convinced myself that if my intentions were genuine, people would naturally recognize them. I believed kindness explained itself. I believed consistency would eventually answer every question. Looking back, I realized I wasn't seeing the world as it is. I was seeing it through the way I personally try to judge other people. When I meet someone, I usually start by asking what they're trying to accomplish. I assume good intentions until I have reason not to. I don't spend my day looking for hidden motives because it's an exhausting way to live. The problem is that not everyone begins from the same place. And honestly, I understand why. The unfortunate part is that healthy caution and permanent suspicion aren't the same thing. Caution protects us from repeating the old mistakes. Suspicion eventually convinces us that everyone is hiding something. When that happens, sincere people spend more time defending their intentions than living them. The conversation shifts away from them contributing and becomes centered around them proving how worthy they are being believed. I caught myself falling into that trap recently. There were moments where I found myself wondering how I could explain my mission more clearly so nobody could misunderstand it. I started thinking about how things might be perceived instead of simply asking whether they were true. That's a dangerous place for any creator to be because the focus quietly shifts from creating meaningful work to managing everyone else's opinions. The more I sat with that thought, the more I realized I was chasing something impossible. Perception doesn't belong to the person being observed. It belongs to the observer. Every person who we meet filters us through a lifetime of experiences we know nothing about. Some people have been manipulated. Some have been lied to. Some have watched people pretend to be generous only to discover it was self-serving all along. They aren't responding to only us. They're responding to everything that came before us. Once I accepted that, something inside me became lighter. I stopped asking myself how to make everyone understand my heart because there isn't a sentence on earth capable of doing that. Character isn't explained. It's something you demonstrate repeatedly until people paying attention no longer need an explanation. Trust grows much slower than assumptions, but it's also much stronger once it takes root. That doesn't mean misunderstandings stop hurting. I'd be lying if I said they didn't. It stings when someone assigns motives to you that don't belong there, especially when you've invested years trying to build something that helps people. But I've also learned that spending my energy correcting every misunderstanding leaves very little energy left for actually fulfilling the mission that created those misunderstandings in the first place. Maybe that's the real weight of expectations, though. We expect our intentions to travel with our actions. They don't. Our actions leave us once we perform them. From that point on, they're interpreted by someone else's experiences, fears, beliefs, and assumptions. We no longer control the meaning they assign to what we've done. The only thing that's in our control is whether tomorrow's actions tell the same story. And that realization has changed the way I think about my work. I don't want Bolt to become successful because everyone finally gets me. I want him to become successful because he consistently represents the values I believe in. Those are two completely different goals. One depends on public opinion, the other depends on personal integrity. Maybe that's true for all of us. If we build our lives around being understood, we'll spend most of the time being disappointed because humans are wonderfully imperfect at understanding each other. But if we build our lives around living our values consistently, understanding becomes a gift instead of a requirement. Some will still misunderstand us, and that's okay. The people who genuinely want to know who we are won't judge us for a single moment. They'll judge us by the pattern we leave behind. So thank you for joining me on another pour of coffee with Dubs. Until next time, don't let the fear of being misunderstood stop you from becoming who you were created to be. Your responsibility isn't to manage every opinion. It's to live your values so consistently that, over time, your character speaks louder than the explanations ever could. I'm gonna go do that now. I'll see you tomorrow, because I'm out of here.